Okay. So there's a couple of things I want to share with you today. I want to take more of a show and tell approach. I'll give you a little bit of backstory. Um, I've recently moved onto a piece of property that basically I own instead of renting, or I've done a lot of traveling in the past, and volunteering on organic farms, cottage industries, that type of thing, because I have a background in chemistry and permaculture. I'm a permaculture. I'm a certified permaculture design consultant, and as a part of that, I've done a lot of visiting and volunteering and working on various farms and cottage industries. And traveling like that has been a great experience, but it hasn't afforded me the opportunity to do much long-term gardening myself. I've done a lot of helping design, layout, and implement small uh, gardens, small farms. But a lot of times, I know I'm not there long term to be able to really, see plants through to fruition. I'm not there to, I can't plant a tree and know that it's going to be undisturbed for 7 years, until it starts to bear fruit. And I'm also an advocate of organic gardening. Everything that I personally like to do, I like to make sure that it's, frankly, not polluted by chemical pesticides, chemical fertilizers. And when you're working on other people's properties, obviously you're subject to their own understandings and their own preferences. And some people, sometimes people just simply don't know any better. But I currently have the opportunity to plant at will within reason, given the growing zone here, and know that it's not going to be disturbed. People aren't going to, use chemicals. In fact, we plan to certify this piece of property organic. Um, So that has led me to want to take advantage of the opportunity to process some of these herbs that I have at hand, knowing that they are organic, they're clean, there's no chemicals in them, and so I've really been looking forward to harvesting some of what I've got on hand and process it. In particular, I want to prepare some tinctures. So I wanted to share the beginning of that with you and do it in more of a show and tell fashion. Um, Up till now, I have a mortar and pestle, as you can see, and I've used it for culinary purposes, which it works fine for that. But it's wooden, and wood is porous. So let's say I'm crushing rosemary, and then later I want to crush oregano. It's hard to clean all of the rosemary, the oils out of the pores in this mortar and pestle, and keep that flavor from blending into the next herb that are processed. A lot of times I don't mind because I use the same combinations of herbs when I cook. So it's not a real problem, but I want to start processing more of the medicinal herbs that I have at hand. And that's going to require something that is not porous, because I want to prepare specific individual tinctures without them being tainted or cross contaminated with other things. So I finally broke down and bought myself a nice mortar and pestle that I think is going to be suitable. And I basically want to just share a quick unboxing in preparation for a follow up review video. Let me open this up for you. Bear with me. I I don't have a nice camera set up here. I have one. I have some decent studio equipment, but frankly, uh, I currently have rather severe cataracts, and pending corrective surgery, essentially sight impaired. So I'm trying to do this in a way that's simple, and that I can keep up with, because I can't see to run my camera and do a lot of editing. So I'm just going to do everything in one shot from my phone. So I can't even really tell you what brand this is, but I can tell you that it's black granite. I chose black for a couple different reasons. This has to be seasoned because it's granite. As I grind things up in it, it's going to shed particles, and those particles are going to get into whatever it is that I'm making, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So if this were another color, say white, gray, or something like that, it would be hard for me to see the granite particles and know whether or not they've all, that it's been fully seasoned and that it's no longer shedding particles. But I'm going to use coarse grain sea salt as one of the things that I'm going to initially grind up in here to season this with. And that way I'll be able to tell if there are black particles still shedding in the salt, because it'll change color. It'll be easier for me to see. And the other reason I'll be using salt is because this frankly needs to be energetically cleansed. Um, I won't get into a lot of explanations about what that means. I think most of you have an idea. If you don't, you're welcome to ask questions and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But salt has a cleansing nature on an energetic level as well as physical levels. So that's one reason why I'll be using salt. Initially, I'll do probably 4 or 5 runs where I'll just grind up a lot of coarse salt in here. This is a non-stick pad that goes on the bottom. It should keep it from sliding around while I'm using it. This is a freebie they threw in, which is they're calling a garlic peeler. Maybe I'll give you a little demonstration of that later when we're actually preparing something. The other reason I chose a black mortar and pestle is because black absorbs energy, and it blocks energy. It insulates or shields energy from getting into what you're preparing. And again, a lot of people might not really be concerned about that, but I am. And I'm going to be specifically, I want to prepare some tinctures. I do grow a number of different culinary herbs, but right now I'm looking forward to processing the herbs that we have naturally growing at hand. For example, dandelion, chicory, chickweed, burdock, mullein. There's a number of herbs that are just already here. I'll give you a little backstory. Because I'm a design consultant, I get invited sometimes to help people figure out how they want to set up a new garden space in their backyard or whatever it may be. And I went to a friend's house who's in a very similar situation with a half acre. And we, after some, checking the layout and all that, looking at solar access and water access and everything, we decided a main feature would be a spiral garden. So we laid it out and we started digging it up and doing a double dig method. And right away, of course, we're pulling quote unquote weeds from the soil that we were digging up and laying over. And I thought I recognized, these weeds as being herbs. So I suggested that we stop what we were doing right away and go pull out the reference guide, and let's identify each of these weeds before we decide to simply pull them up and throw them in the compost pile. And that was a very revealing exercise, because what we found was that there were about six naturally occurring, weeds in the garden space. And when we identified them all, we realized they were actually all edible medicinal herbs. The only actual invasive weed that was in the space was, in fact, lawn grass. So uh, that, clearly told me that, well, we have an abundance of medicinal herbs already on hand to take advantage of. And now that I have, a safe space to work with here, I want to do the same thing. I want to propagate those herbs that are already there, dandelions, etc. But I want to process them too. I'm really looking forward to making some tinctures of dandelion, etc., as well as some other herbs that don't grow here, and I'll have to order. In fact, some I've ordered already, and they're on the way. But this is what I plan to use to process those herbs. It's black granite. It's absolutely gorgeous. My only concern is from what I understand, this was manufactured in China, and the only thing that bothers me or concerns me about that is I have no way of really verifying the quality of the material that that particular factory or company is using. So I'm going to try to examine this closely, keep an eye on it, see how it performs. If any of you are familiar with granite, you have any kind of insight you can offer me as to how clean this might be, um, please feel free to tell me. But like I said, just for a quick unboxing, I just wanted to take a quick look at it. It's polished on the outside, coarse on the inside, absolutely gorgeous. It's heavy. It's together. I think it's about 9 pounds. It's a awesome size. Um, I've never had a mortar and pestle this nice. I was reluctant to go ahead and buy one because I thought I would spend a lot of money. But I was surprised to find that they're available and they're relatively inexpensive. I think I went into this one for between $30 $35, and I feel like it's well worth it. There's cheaper options available, smaller options available. This is about 6.5 inches in diameter, I think, and I believe it has like a 2.2 cup capacity, which it actually looks larger than that. It's plenty. It's all I need. Um, Along with it, because I have something very specific in mind, I went ahead and picked up some. These are just old school, antique style labels for tincture bottles, and I went ahead and got a case of tincture bottles, 1 ounce bottles to go with it. They are dropper bottles. Um, in a 1 ounce bottle, you should be able to get about 29 dropper fulls out of it, which, if you're taking a tincture on a daily base, one dropper full, depending on how it's prepared, is about one dose. If you're taking this every day, 1 ounce tincture bottle would give you enough to last you a month. So really, depending on what you're taking it for, and how long you intend to take it, 1 ounce should do you plenty. So these are heavier than I thought. I was not anticipating that. I hope they're nice quality. Let's find out if I can without breaking them. Ooh, yes. Very nice, very nice. So this is a case of about 48 bottles. Again, they're relatively inexpensive. I believe put about $20 into this. Oh, we have some droppers. I thought I was actually going to have to buy a couple of these, but they're already included. This looks like probably some labels to go with it already, which is nice. You'd be in business right out the box. Let me show you a couple of examples. Forgive me if I'm off camera again. I'm basically blind and just trying to use my phone for now to make this nice and simple. Um, I've been waiting for a long time to get corrective surgery. I've been putting all this off until I can see. And to be honest with you, I've said throughout that it feels like the universe is testing me, and I feel like what I'm being told or encouraged is to stop waiting to be able to see and find a way to overcome your challenges and go ahead and be doing the things that you know that you're supposed to be doing. And for me to describe what I've learned from that and what that's been like would be a whole story in itself. But let's just say that I'm really grateful for the help that I've been offered. Things are going in a positive direction. I will be able to see soon, but it's been a long time, and I'm I guess you'd say, well, tired of waiting, and I'm ready to move forward. So I made a determination going into this year that I am going to do what I know that I'm supposed to be doing, whether I can see or not. I'll find a way. So that's what I'm doing right now. Again, a 1 ounce bottle. This is a nice size bottle. I was thinking I might have to go with 2 ounce bottles, but this is perfect. Like I said, this is enough tincture to last a month if you're taking it every day. And that likely not even necessary, just depending on what you're taking it for. Um, I just wanted to basically take a quick video of this, document it because I know I'm going to be doing a follow up review. That's something I've been doing more of lately, reviews for companies and businesses, and I'm really enjoying it. I know I'm not mentioning what wholesalers I got it from or what companies manufactured it. I just want to check it out first. We'll get more into that later. I think this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to processing some herbs. I have a background not only in sustainable horticulture but chemistry as well. This is just something that I do because I love it and because I know it's important. It's medicine. Um, you can see maybe there's a pantry back here behind me. My intention is to fill this completely up with herbal preparations, and I'm excited to do it. Can't wait to do it. I'm doing it already. And anyway, when it comes time to actually prepare this next batch of tincture, I I want to show and tell it. I'll let you guys see the process. Not so much talking, just a little more hands on. This is not so much how you do it, but this is how I do it. Um, so for now, I'll just keep this brief, keep it short. Thank you for your interest. If you found this video and you're watching this today, it's because you're meant to be here. Part of the reason that I'm starting this channel is to create a platform where like-minded people can come together and share common interests, learn from each other, and grow together. Certainly, not it's not because I'm an expert in any right, but I don't mind bringing my experience to the table. The day has come to stop doing things in secrecy, and in our closets, and share more openly with each other. In this information age, we have the opportunity to really let our culture bloom, and I hope that's what we'll come together and do. So, thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day. If you find this interesting at all, um, see my follow up videos, and we'll see where this goes. Thanks.